Good morning, everyone. Hello, I'm Kristin Omdahl, and welcome back to Yarn on the Beach. This is episode 143, and we're here live in Southwest Florida at Bonita Beach. We're watching the sunrise over the buildings and the trees to the east, and this is the Gulf of Mexico behind me. It's a little bit rough this morning, but sounds awesome. Hopefully you can hear the waves crashing along with me. Loving the sound of it. Good morning, Jenny. Hi, Darlene. Hi, Melissa. Hi, DJ, Sarah, May, Faye. Thank you all for joining me live. If you're joining live, please say hello. And also let me know if you're crafting this morning. Thank you, Laren. Hi, Lily. Hi, Deb. Hi, Elisa. Hi, Edna. I am wearing a new dress that I found on Amazon that I'm going to tell you about this morning. It's a different style than I've purchased from Amazon before, and I've already linked it in my Amazon shop, but I'll tell you more about it so you know all the nitty-gritty about it before you decide if it's something that's good for you or not. Good morning, Brenda, Christine, Melissa, Jane. Working on old-fashioned doilies. That's awesome, Jane. I have an amazing idea to share with you for doilies later. Maybe not this week, maybe next week. But I have found a product that's going to be amazing for home dec and yarn, so crochet or knitting or any other yarn crafts. I'm super excited to tell you about that, but not quite yet. But a new way to take yarn to a whole new level for home dec, so yay! So glad to see you're working on a doily. I will have an idea for you to use that doily should you decide to do something different with it come next week. Hi, Barbie. Hi, Mary. Laren, thank you so much. Doilies are so fun to make anyway, right? And it's one of those, what do you call it? The words coming to my mind are instant gratification projects, kind of like baby stuff, because they're small. Well, sometimes they're small, and so you get that instant gratification of finishing something quickly. So it looks like lots of people are joining us live this morning. So happy to see that. It's a beautiful morning down here. A little bit breezy, but not too bad. If anyone has problems with the sound because of the wind, I can always put my microphone on, but I like to leave that to the last minute because I know you miss out on some of the sounds of the waves then too. Good morning. Hi. Okay, so I wanted to show you some of the details about this dress that I'm wearing. It's one of those cotton, and maybe it has cotton in it. It might be, it definitely has a stretch to it. I don't remember the fiber makeup, but you can see it has quite a bit of stretch to it. It has that seamed waistband that we've talked about in the other dresses that I've worn, but this one has a faux wrap to it. And anybody who likes to see a separation from bust to waist, and you'll notice that on the model in Amazon, she does not have a voluptuous bust, so you can see what it looks like on her frame. And for me, being a busty woman, having this wrap style, whether it's faux or actual wrap, is actually very flattering to separate the width of this from the width of this so that you have that separation and you can see your curves better. So I find it to be extremely flattering on. Otherwise, if I go straight down from the width of my bust, I start to look pregnant, and I don't want to look that way. So this is a faux wrap, so it's just a piece of fabric that's wrapped over the other piece of fabric, and then it also has some shirring right here, which also hides imperfections nicely. It's subtle, but it does hide them as well. It does have a side zip here that goes all the way down. Although I did not need to use it, the dress is stretchy enough that I did not need the side zip. So that's nice too, but it does zip well. And then from that natural waistline waist, it goes into a full skirt that comes to just below my knee, and that's on my 5'9" frame. I am about 180 pounds, and this is a size large. So I wasn't sure if I needed a large or an extra large, and I was feeling hopeful. So I bought the large, and I feel like I'm probably, when I first tried it on, I thought, ooh, maybe you should have gone with the extra large. But once I tried it on a second time, I found the sleeves Oh, I forgot to mention the most important part. It has a cap sleeve. So here's the seam, and you see it comes down several inches past my shoulder here, but does not come to a full sleeve. This would be considered a cap sleeve, which I think is fabulous for adding layers. Sometimes, Melissa, I don't recall the size range. I knew it had quite a few sizes, larger and smaller than what I'm wearing, so I try to pick things that have a decent size range. This one wasn't one of the biggest size ranges, but I believe it went up a couple and down a couple. So the cap sleeves, the reason I like cap sleeves sometimes, I like to be able to wear a vest over this. Sometimes a cap sleeve just gives that extra layering piece for a vest, because if you just go totally sleeveless, I feel like it somehow gets lost doing the layering effect gets lost when you don't see something on your arm. Sometimes I'm okay with it and other times I'm not okay with it. Probably depends on how hot I am, right? If I'm super hot, then I don't care anymore. But notice once I put a vest on, having that little bit of sleeve come through doesn't bring so much attention to that area of my arm that we're always not exactly crazy about. If we had great toned arms, maybe, but for the rest of us, I feel like having that little bit of cap sleeve is fantastic for vesting. Now, when you do a sleeveless dress, like some of the other dresses that I've bought, that's when you wear cowls and shawls and decorate them different ways to cover that area. But when you go with a cap sleeve, I think it's fantastic to be able to wear vests. I'll show you another one. Got this one I can try on too, so I can show you what that layering looks like. It's just really easy. Also, once you have that little cap sleeve, it's great to be able to not layer it and just accessorize with jewelry instead. But look at how the vest looks over that dress. The cap sleeves really make the layering work well together. So now I wanted to talk to you about some of the different colors that you could accessorate a print like this. It's a busy print, right? And so you'd think that combinations of colors may not always work with it. But if you notice, it's a teal background, but then there's different opacities of the print. There's some really faded versions of the print, like in here, which I think really makes the print very interesting. And then more of a full opacity version of the print in here. I don't know if I'm pointing at the right areas, but if you can see, it just gives really a lot of depth to the print, and also gives you a lot more options for styling with it. So one thing that I like to do is pick a color in, like, you know, when we mix colors in a pattern, we call color A and then color B, C, and D. Well, a color A is your main color. So the hardest color to really accessorize with in this dress would be the dark teal that's the base of the dress. What I would suggest is either using that as a small accent color on something, or picking up in some of the more minor colors for accessorizing. Like seeing that yellow and lime green in there, look how cute the lime green pop of color looks over the dress. Immediately, you start picking up on those lighter colors, right? And then even to just, and like I said, you could keep the green as an accent color in something. So this is the Mary shawl from Motif Magic, and it's done in Be So Fine yarn in colorway Calypso Lime. Then someone was asking about Faye. Faye had to go do something this morning, so she won't make it this morning, but most likely she'll be back tomorrow. And so like with the Jordana cowl, this is done in the main color being a bright pink, which goes really well with one of the flowers in here. This flower, that flower here. And then I picked up with that, the color of the dress in the minor color, and look at how well this goes with the dress. Again, just making sure that if you're going to match the main color of the dress, you do it very subtly, and you do your main color in one of the minor colors. So you're flipping the major minor color palette, and that looks really put together. So you wouldn't think to add multicolor to a busy multicolor dress, but you can. And then obviously a necklace is a no-brainer with a cap sleeve dress. This is perfect, and you could make this in any color yarn to go with. So I brought some yarns to show you. You could go neutral, like that vest that I tried on. This is Be So Tender yarn in Cloud. I think going neutral is really pretty with the dress. Then this is Coastal Mangroves in Be So Lush yarn. I think going neutral would be really pretty. And this would be for a necklace or wrap or vest. And then I wanted to show you a couple other colors. Passionate Plum looks really pretty with it. Pick up on the purple in that flower. Bright Pink matches several of the flowers. There's even some coral in there. And then picking up on the blues, besides the darker teal of the background of the dress, the darker navy, like we did with the Blue Danube vest, looks pretty. And then going into turquoise is a nice little pop of color too. You can see how that looks. That would be great as a necklace. Any of these would be great as one of the necklaces, or as a vest, or a scarf, or a wrap of any kind. Or how about making the flower pins in any one of these colors? I meant to wear a flower pin this morning and walked out the door without it. I did a side messy bun. I pulled all my hair to the side and did a messy bun here, but I wanted to put a flower pin right there, and how cute would this color be with this dress? Or this color. Or this color. I mean, any of them would make fabulous flower pins. So just wanted to show you that even with a busy print, a flower motif poncho would be fabulous. Yes. No, Raina, I don't sell my yarn wholesale to yarn shops. I only sell from my online boutique right now. So I wanted to show you some of the other colors and mixing and matching of colors. Like, all of the colors in this one are beautiful for the shawl, but notice how that's too busy with the actual dress. So you could pick any one of those colors and make a beautiful piece for the dress, but mixing them together is probably too spot on. And that is another piece from Motif Magic. Here's another shawl from Motif Magic. Any one of these colors would match well, but all together kind of get lost in the dress. But then we go to the Morgana shawl, which you notice only picks up on the minor colors of the dress and not with the major color. And notice how this one actually goes well. You could actually wear this busy color work with the dress, and because it only picks up on the minor colors, I actually think this one does look cute with it, even though the other two were too matchy-matchy. So isn't it interesting to see how color works together? Sometimes things that you assume will work don't, and things that you think wouldn't work do. Here's a purple. This is Lila Memories colorway in Be So Sporty yarn. I also think this is really pretty with the dress. Again, it picks up on a minor color, not a major color. Yes, Sarah, any yarn would be great for Morgana. This would be beautiful in a variegated yarn. Absolutely. I think it would be great in a solid color or in a variegated. It does not have to be in busy color work like this. Absolutely. There is no wrong way to make a simple lace top-down shawl with an amazing edging. Seriously, no wrong way to do it. Here's another color. This is Pink Damask and Be So Fine yarn. I think this is really beautiful with the dress too, because it picks up. If anybody else can do anything for like KB did, that would be great. I'm in the process of adding a second moderator and didn't finish it before this morning, so I apologize. So either ignore it or see if anybody else can report it. Otherwise, there's not much else we can do this morning, and I'm sorry about that. That's on me. Ooh. This bag is from Motif Magic, and imagine you could either carry this and that would be your accessory in your contrast color. Also matches the necklace, but imagine that color in a shawl or a wrap too. But also I think this would be great for as your accessory. Just wearing the bag for your pop of color. Oh my God, that's perfect. See, I feel totally put together now. The dress, the necklace, and the bag, done. KB's not here this morning, Edna, sorry. So does anybody have any questions about mixing and matching those colors, or would you like to see anything else up close? Yeah, this bag is from Motif Magic. It is called the Madison Bag. I can show you pictures of it in the book. This one here. Thanks, Lisa. I started talking about this dress that I got off Amazon. If you go back and watch the recording, you can see all of the details that I talked about, the pluses and minuses of the dress, and what will work for some people and not for others, and how it works for me. And then I went through different projects that I thought would be great for styling it, and even talked about different colors that work or don't work with the dress. And last but not least, talked about this bag and how cute the necklace and the bag look. I mean, seriously, with a pair of nude strappy sandals, this is a totally put together outfit. I mean, you could go all day in this outfit now. Thank you. Thank you, Lotta. Thank you, Ruthie. I have so much fun talking about styling different things together. I feel like there's a disconnect in the yarn world sometimes between making and wearing. And we see the model wear something one time, and we may or may not like the way a model wore something one time. But if you're going to make something and spend all those hours making it, I feel like you need to know how to not only style it, how to wear it, but how to wear it more than once. Hi, Nana from Cape Coral. That's right up the road. If you ever feel like coming to our knitting and crochet club, we meet every Tuesday night in North Naples at the Panera. Heather agrees there's a disconnect. I totally agree. Yes, there's definitely a disconnect. And like I said, it's not about even just copying the way the model wore it, which is also tough because most of us don't look like the model that we see in a magazine or in a book. Not only do we not look like that model, but we're not doing the thing that she's doing, so we're not going to style exactly the same way. And then on top of that, after all those hours and all that money you spent, you should be able to wear it more than once and more than one way. So I feel like it's my duty to share knowledge on that. Thank you, Elizabeth. I love the dress. It's so comfortable. Lisa, I used to model too many years ago, but even still, it's about everyday wear more than making something perfect for one photo that really gets me excited. And looking put together in a variety of ways is always way more exciting to me than making a perfect photo, because that's not real life. Just like Coco Chanel always said, always dress for a date with destiny, and I always like to put together, and I think it has way more to do with your everyday style than a perfectly posed photo. Hi, Elisa. Elisa got to see some previews from book 15 last night. I brought some of the samples that I'm getting ready for my tech editor. You're welcome, Tanya. My pleasure. I've been styling for photo shoots and for live shows for so many years, and I absolutely love fashion and love styling so much that I'm happy to share my opinion. Oh, I missed a few comments, so sorry. Hopefully there weren't any important questions. If there were, please feel welcome to repeat them. Elisa liked all of them. Oh, you're so sweet. So Elisa got to see, oh my gosh, how many pieces did I have in that box last night, Elisa? A ton. I had a ton of vests and different layering pieces for book 15 that may either be book 15 or book 15 and 16. I can't decide if it's too much for one book or if it needs to be spread out into two. But all sorts of layering pieces that are just a little beyond the regular two-dimensional shawl. They're a little more how to crochet to look thin. Oh, Lotta, that's all in the styling. There's all sorts of ways to make yourself look more put together at any size. I think you can be beautiful at any size. It's all about knowing how to style your body and your shape and what makes you comfortable. I think you can be put together at any size. I think part of it is in accessorizing and layering also. I missed Tina's question. Thanks for agreeing with me, Sherry. I'm glad. I'm glad to see I'm not the only one. What am I covering the new book with, Edna? This is Motif Magic, and I keep it in a cardboard box so that all the schlepping back and forth from my car to the beach, it doesn't get beat up. So because I'm not keeping it on a bookshelf or somewhere else protected, and I'm actually traveling with it all the time, I feel like it keeps it in better shape if I keep it in a box than if I just throw it in Dolly the Wonder Wagon. As awesome as Dolly the Wonder Wagon is, she is not responsible for keeping things pristine. All she does is cart them from point A to point B. And that's fine. I love her for exactly what she is. And I know what her limits are. Way too many comments at once. I did not read them. Tina! Tina, yeah, you can always make things larger, especially with motifs. You add more motifs, that's never a problem, or you can adjust. You can adjust in a number of ways. Uh-oh, my phone didn't charge overnight. That stinks. I just got the low power mode warning. What do I use? I don't stay at the beach, Lisa, so I don't stay out. I'm only here for 30 minutes at 8 o'clock in the morning, so I don't actually wear suntan lotion because I don't stay here all day. My face cream has a natural SPF of about 15 or 20, and that's all that I'm only out here for a few minutes. If I come back to the beach at any point in the day, I stay in the shade. I don't actually lay out in the sun. Yes, the book has tons of shawls. There's tons of shawls on my website. You just need to go to my website to see more photos. Lisa, I do very, very, very little in the sun. I do wear foundation, which gives me a little bit of color. I use a highlighter here on my cheeks, but I don't believe either of those are bronzers. But again, I spend very little time out in the sun. I just think it's the consistency of little time out in the sun. Someone's mentioning the Mary shawl. See, now this shawl is a little bit on the larger size, but honestly you could just add, you know, if you added another row of the triangles at the top, you would make another column of the squares at the bottom, and you could make that wider and longer as well. So motifs are actually very easy to modify shawls. Even a top-down shawl is easy to modify to make it larger. You just keep going in the pattern repeat. Lots of ways to modify to make things larger. Thank you, Lily. I love this shawl too. I love the color. I love the motif. Thank you, Donna. Edna, the new book is going to be about layering pieces, so it's going to have vests and capes and ponchos and things like that. The Morgana is not in the book. It's a free pattern download hosted on Eucaland's website, and you can find out how to do that on my blog. Oh, decided on the place to host the crochet along yesterday. It's going to be in my Ravelry group, so I will be going back to Ravelry. Well, I should say that in past tense because I went back to Ravelry yesterday. I updated my group page. It's called the Kristin Omdahl Community. There's a link to it on my website, in the blog post about the crochet along. It looks like that seems to be the most inclusive place that everybody's comfortable at, and if you're not, email me, we'll figure out how to keep you included. I just want to be as inclusive as possible. As you know, I always try to do that. Can't always do that 100%, but anytime I can, I really try to keep things as inclusive as possible. So, seems like Ravelry is the common denominator. Some people are only on there, that's their only social media account, or maybe outside of YouTube, which, anyway, and with Facebook having all their craziness, a lot of people are leaving Facebook and Instagram, so what it seems like Ravelry is the common denominator. So I've got that opened up. Please feel welcome to join us there. I will be posting a prize in the next day or two, because as I'm learning about crochet alongs and knit alongs, what I will be doing, we're going to be looking at people, so please post your progress photos, your yarn photos, all of your progress photos, and then when you post your finished items, all of those photos will be entered into a drawing to win a prize. And I haven't put the prize package together completely yet, but it will be put together in the next couple of days, and there's going to be so much time. We're going to do this probably over the month, so there's plenty of time to order your yarn and get started. It's going to be so much fun to see what everybody else is working on. And if this ends up being super fun, I think we ought to do regular crochet alongs and knit alongs. And then we'll have prizes for each one. So it seems like a really fun way to do lots of fun things. Oh, Judy, thanks. You know what? There's a time and a place for every yarn, though. You'll find that there's still time to go back to big box for some things. Again, there's a time and a place for everything, but I'm so glad you like my yarn. Thank you. I just don't want to talk badly about anybody else's yarn. So people do enough trash talking out there. I don't need to help. Thanks, Brenda. Glad you agree. Glad everybody's excited about being on Ravelry. So cool. So done. It's there. Come join and we can chat about the Morgana specifically right now, and we'll come up with new ideas. Maybe I'll start a post for people asking for the next crochet along. Maybe we'll do a poll. Who knows? It's going to be fun. And we're going to do a knit along too. So we're going to do knit alongs and crochet alongs. I am Scandinavian. I am 75% Norwegian and 25% Danish. So I guess that's pretty Scandinavian. I'm second generation US, or second generation North America. I still have first cousins and an aunt that lives in Norway. Hi Teresa, I have actually shipped to South Africa. We have customers in South Africa. Lotta speaks Danish. That's awesome. I only know a few words. Well, I know a nursery rhyme in Danish, and I know how to say I love you in Norwegian. And unfortunately, that's it. It's too bad. I wish I knew more. I know way more in other languages that I've studied outside of my heritage. But I would love to learn one day. I'd love to go one day too. That's cool, Darlene. Lisa's of European descent. Cool. I love history so much. I didn't in high school, but I love it now. Ah, Christine has some Norwegian too. Lotta's Danish is difficult. Donna's best friend lives in Norway. Cool. Yeah, my aunt lives there, and my cousins and all my cousins' family. I'm like a first aunt and first cousins. It was my dad's sister, my dad's older sister. She still lives there. Yes, I would love to visit Norway as well. Definitely. Especially while my aunt's still there. That would be amazing. A lot of Swedish and has family in Denmark. Nice. Hey, you must be in Marco Island now, right? Hi, Annie. Thanks for joining. Looks like we have good weather for you, Faye. Rain is excited for Morgana. Yes, I'm excited to take Marlon to Norway for sure, Donna. Would love to. Love to. All right, well, we've got good weather for you now, Faye. Glad you weren't here last week. Last week's weather was not as fun. Well, that's cool too, Deb. You have a little bit of all, you can take a little good from all of it. Okay, I'm just waiting to see if there are any more questions. Looks like we're out of questions now, so that's good. What website is the new group of yarn? I don't know what you mean, Lily. Do you mean the crochet along? That's on Ravelry, or do you mean where I sell yarn? That's my website. Send me a comment in the recorded version. We'll see if we can figure out where you're looking to go. But we're almost out of time, so let's take this last minute here to look out on this magnificent view. Soak in these beautiful colors and the sound of the waves for one more minute. And set our intentions for the day. Thank you all so much for taking time out of your busy day to spend a few minutes here with me. Ooh, my foot got stuck. I hope you enjoyed the sunrise. I hope you enjoyed the beach, the waves, chatting with me and everyone else. If you have any questions, please leave them for me in the comments in the recorded version. I make a point to answer all of the recorded comments if I can. Let us make time to create, share, and inspire today and every day. I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.